Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to The Geeky Sandbox. So today we're going over episode 2 of Ironheart. And before we start this video, I just want to say at the top of it, all opinions in this video are my own, and I am covering Marvel TV shows on this channel just to showcase what they are doing right now to people who may not have Disney Plus that are huge fans. We will not tolerate racism on this channel, but we are solely here to bring everybody together and have a nice discussion about a new TV show. So if that's your jam, please stick around. If not, the door is that way. Thank you. So this episode was really interesting because I wasn't quite sure where they were going to go with things. Overall, I would say the feel of this episode kind of felt like filler-like, but I still think it was important for them to explore all the stuff they did. Riri comes to terms with Natalie, her AI, because initially she can't face her and she doesn't trust her. She's like, what the hell are you? She doesn't want to call her Natalie, which gets a little weird. She's like, you're my dead best friend. And I do like the line where Natalie says, you can call me Neuro-Autonomous Technical Assistant and Laboratory Intelligence Entity. And then she said, but I think Natalie just rolls off the tongue better, which I'm like, it really does. Riri binds Natalie to her laptop instead of her chest plate because she doesn't want her mom seeing her. She doesn't want her getting out and like getting in the way. She doesn't even want to be reminded that she's created this person. So Riri is making moves and she's trying to get everything in place so that way that her life can go the way she feels it needs to with the tech she's trying to create, with the life she's trying to build. We've got her setting up plans with Xavier. He invites her to a concert. Meanwhile, she's bouncing over to Parker and crew. His team, they're so queer and I love it. And I just love just like the mashup of people that we get. And this will be Riri's first mission with them. And she's told, you need to get that suit ready. That's the main thing we need. That's the main reason you're here. We trust you with this. She knows that it's like dirty on the surface, but she's like, I gotta do this. I have to get this done. So she tries to initially fix her suit on her own, but realizes she's gonna need some help. So she finds Joe and she goes to him to get a chest repulsor transmitter. So that way she can get her suit up and running. Riri and him kind of bond over Alanis, and I love that. I mean, who is not jamming out and does not have this on the karaoke playlist? And I love that he calls it out and he's like, I didn't really think you were a fan of hers. And she said, I'm a complicated creature, Joe. Ronnie, who is Riri's mom, she finds out about Natalie because Natalie feels this desperate need and desire to protect Riri, so she escapes, jailbreaks, if you will, out of the computer, and she just kind of like floats around different devices in the house. And there's like a couple of scenes where Ronnie and Natalie have these very heartfelt conversations, and even later in the episode, Ronnie reveals to Riri like, hey, I saw Natalie, like you did something really special here. She has her mannerisms. It's uncanny and I love it. Do you think you can build Gary and do one like him? And Riri painfully declines because she's not really sure what Natalie is, and she doesn't want to bring more heartbreak. And I know that really did hurt her mom. And I do love, just going back to Joe and Riri, they have some good banter. They make it over to his secret bunker lair where he has all of this stuff. And at this point, we're still trying to figure out who this man is. Why does he have access to all of these self-guided missiles and stuff like that next to his live, love, laugh neon poster? And they do set Joe up to be this very passive guy that people can walk all over, and Riri tells him he needs to stand up for himself. Shout out to Chaka Khan, Nobody's Playing, in this episode because it was just the perfect song for Riri to take flight. So she's headed over to the group so that way she can help do her part of the plan. Natalie finds her way to the suit, jump scares Riri. She's lost the drive that they need to be able to stop the car so that way Parker can stop holding his breath because he is in the car, hiding from the person they are about to con. So they end up improvising. It works out perfectly. It's a great celebration moment. Riri and Natalie are celebrating until a cop shows up and he has a gun pointed at them and he sees this AI and he's like, terrified. And it's just like very reminiscent of just something that Natalie had experienced. And so the whole AI freezes up. Riri doesn't have control of the suit. It's a very high tense moment, and I do love that they try to explore this later and talk about it later. But Parker saves the day. He comes curving a bullet around Riri and he wounds the cop. Riri is still very concerned because she's like, he could have killed somebody. All the people in his crew are like, just relax, enjoy this. But Riri does try to find a crack in their system. She talks to Clown is very transparent and doesn't really care what people think. So she does go along with Riri, and Riri asks questions about Parker, and she asks questions about the hood. She asks questions about where he's from, and Parker's cousin kind of shuts it down. He's like, you asked a lot of questions, which is a bit of a red flag. Riri does have a talk with Natalie, and she's like, I'm more concerned about why my AI is freezing up. Natalie tries to warn her about Parker. I don't like that Riri pushes it out of her brain a little bit, but she's like, hey, I know that he's a piece of shit, but this is a quick in and out job, which little does she know, obviously stuff like this is not a one-time thing, but I do like that there's this, like, you know, as brilliant as Riri is and as smart as she is, even when she knows something's wrong, she's trying to make it work because she knows that she needs these funds. She feels she's as brilliant as Tony Stark, and I feel like she admires Tony Stark. She just knows that he's been set up in a way where he was able to afford the things to help him become Iron Man over time, right? Those aren't resources she has. So she's trying to get there. She's trying to obtain those assets. The big reveal of the episode, Parker's back is getting worse. He is losing control more frequently as he wears the hood, and his cousin is very concerned, and Parker tells him, don't worry about it. So some of the Easter eggs I did want to talk about. Rio. Riri brings up Rio, which is the AI she used in Wakanda, and she was trying to rebuild that and replicate that, and that's how Natalie came to life. A sister shout out. She says, go home, Roger, to Xavier, which is an iconic line that the sisters used to say to Marcus Houston's character, Roger. And it was just really nice to hear that. So another Easter egg I want to talk about is just the hood in general. He is a small-time crook, but we see that he has the hood, and it is a mystical cloak and a set of boots. At least in the show, I don't think they've talked about the boots, but so far they have talked about the cloak that he got from a demon. And we get an Easter egg like that when Clown is talking to Riri about, like, yeah, like, we don't know where he got it from. People said that, you know, it just appeared one day. Other people said he wrestled it off a demon. And I just think that was like a really cool Easter egg. So I'm interested to see what they do with him in the show, because he's known to be deadly accurate. His stealth is incredible, and he is very unpredictable in a fight. And we've kind of seen a held back version of him, even in the sense of people asking too many questions and him being okay with that. So I feel like he's still fairly grounded and tethered to his crew. I'm interested to see how that's going to change once, like, some stuff goes sideways, because we know that it's going to. But yes, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a like rating down below, and I will see you guys in episode 3. Bye!